Trolls must have a cave nearby to hide from the sun. We must look into it. Find the troll cave, Bilbo.
Welcome back to the Hobbit walkthrough, everybody. This is Chapter 3, Troll Hole.
Find the troll cave, Bilbo. We need supplies.
Evil creatures live in these hills. Be careful.
Gandalf said he left our company to look ahead. I asked him what brought him back in time, and he said, looking behind.
Silly time to go pocket-picking when we wanted fire and food.
Okay, first, grab the training scroll.
I see you found a training scroll. This land is full of lore from the old kingdom of Arnor. They used these scrolls to teach combat tactics to their young warriors. Now the scrolls are scattered all over this desolate land. You will learn new fighting skills when you open them.
And second, head down the hill, grab the items, and walk into the clearing. There are 3 wolves down here. Now that you have the training scroll, you can chain 2 attacks with the stick together by clicking the left mouse button twice in quick succession. To recap the tactics I gave in the previous chapter, wait until they come at you, close the distance, and then strike. You can also block by backing up as an attack hits you. Next, follow the wall around and you will find a little niche back here containing a chest with 25 silver pennies and a health potion in it. Then, you can begin climbing the mountain. If you turn to the right up here, long jump across the gap, and then long jump across the next gap, you will find a white courage point and a chest that contains 50 silver pennies. Then, you just need to climb up the mountain to the cave entrance. You can talk to Gloin up here for a quest, but even if you don't, you will complete it later regardless.
That was quite a climb. I have to catch my breath.
Any sign of the troll cave?
No. Or the key.
Key?
Long ago, the Witch King's people built strongholds in this land. Wicked creatures like trolls get the keys and use the locked vaults to hide from the sun.
In this cave, there are nodules in both the left and the right walls. You need to hug the right wall until you pass the spike nodules on the left. Then, once they've popped out, move past them and hug the left wall until you've passed the spike nodules on the right. Then, you can move about freely. Up here, there are 2 water leapers. There aren't really any additional tactics that I need to teach you here beyond what you used to fight the wolves previously. However, it is worth noting that both these water leapers and the wolves from earlier have increased health over the enemies in the previous chapter. Before you leave the area, there's a stack of silver pennies in some pods there. There are also some courage points on top of a pillar right here. The vine you climb to get to the top of the pillar is darker colored, meaning that it is rotten and will break if you hang on to it for more than a few seconds. Also, don't miss the cache of mushrooms I just showed. Then, climb up the vine, leap across to the next vine, and get the courage points on the pillar. In this area, there are 4 more water leapers. The only additional tactic that I need to give here is, don't let them surround you. If they do surround you, try to reposition yourself so that they are in front of you instead. With the water leapers down, it's time to do some item collecting. Don't miss these pods here. One of them contains a silver penny. Then, at the back of the room, there's also a chest containing 25 silver pennies and a pink courage point behind a rock column. Now you just need to head up and over the rock columns. When you do drop down to the ground again, don't miss the 2 green courage points right in front of the rock column. Next, you will need to jump over the spikes that pop out of the floor.
It's an elf. Oh, and she's hurt.
Help me. I was injured by 3 trolls. I barely managed to escape into these caves. My healing draft is in the next chamber, but I'm too weak to get it. Can you bring it to me? Please, I need that healing draft.
At this point, you should have... Now we have the first boss, the Guardian. The Guardian has rock badgers as minions. If you kill the rock badgers, the Guardian will rear up and then you can strike his belly for a lot of damage. With each hit, the Guardian will spawn 1 rock badger more than it did for the previous hit. So 1 for the first hit, 2 for the second hit, and 3 for the third hit. Be careful not to kill the last rock badger when the Guardian is too far away. If you make that mistake, you won't be able to damage him in time, and then you'll have to take out his rock badgers again. Here's something you should not do. Try not to get yourself surrounded or backed up into a corner. If you do, your risk of damage will be greater, and you'll have to reposition yourself. The Guardian also has a long-ranged rock throw attack that does not get shown off in this video.
My, if Bullroarer Took could see me now.
With the Guardian down, there are quite a few extraneous things to do here. There are a couple of pods that contain mushrooms, which do not count towards your perfect score. There is a tunnel in the rock up here that contains a sack of silver pennies, a chest, a rock badger, and courage points as well. If you've been following along with this walkthrough from the beginning, then you should get a health upgrade when you grab the pink courage points up here. This chest contains 75 silver pennies. Now we have a new enemy type to deal with, the wereworm. They come in these nests, and each wereworm will die to a single rock throw or strike from the stick. The auto-target feature is helpful here for lining up rock throws, and by default, on PC, it's activated by pressing the right mouse button. You can tell Bilbo is locked onto an enemy when the triangle above that enemy turns red instead of yellow. If a wereworm nips you, it will deal 1 full unit of health damage. If you see a yellow triangle appear above a wereworm hole, you can strike at that hole and kill the wereworm before it even pops up. At this point in the game, jump attacking can work to kill the wereworms, but it can also be somewhat risky. With the wereworms dead, I'm going to go grab the items over by where you'd go after saving Lianna. One of these items is a pod containing a single silver penny. Don't miss it. Over by this slimy slope, there are 3 green courage points behind these rocks. And that's most of the extraneous items in this cave collected. I am now on my way to grab the healing draught and then to go save Lianna. The healing draught can be reached by jumping across these rock pillars. Here, I fell down, but it doesn't really matter, as I didn't take any damage and can easily try again. At the end of the path, grab the healing draught, and also don't miss the green courage point in the little hole up here.
The healing draft. Oh, I hope I'm not too late to save her.
With the healing draught in hand, head back to Lianna.
Thank you, friend. I am Lianna of the Wood Elves.
Bilbo Baggins of the Shire, at your service. I'm searching for the Troll Cave. Do you know how I can find it?
You will need this if you want to find the Troll Cave. But beware, these caverns are filled with the Witch King's traps. I feel stronger already. I shall leave these caves soon.
At this point, you should have... Now then, head to the back of the cave and place the Witch King crystal Lianna gave you into the pedestal. Then, jump onto the platform, but don't jump off at the other side just yet. Wait until the platform goes below to gain access to a slightly secret area. Here, you will find a rock badger, pods containing 6 silver pennies, and a chest containing 25 silver pennies and a health potion. Next, jump back onto the platform and ride it to the far side of the chasm. There's going to be another rock badger up here, but it's nothing you haven't dealt with before. If you go left at that fork, you will come to another side area. Just be careful of the spikes that come out of the floor and the left wall. There are 2 more rock badgers in here. There are also 20 courage points behind these rocks, and then there's a chest containing 30 silver pennies. Then, head back the way you came and continue down the right side. Before you leave the area, don't miss this pod containing 10 silver pennies. Now here, something rather stupid happened. There's a green courage point back there that I forgot to grab, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna go back and grab it. However, the rock badgers came and were killed by the spikes. If you don't land the killing blow on an enemy, you'll have to gather the courage points it drops manually. I thought those courage points were going to disappear, but even if they would have, I still would have had plenty of time to grab them, so I was damaged by the spikes in my haste. There are a couple more rock badgers here, but they're easy to take down. Here, there's a red courage point and an easily missable pod with a sack of silver pennies in it. If you turn right at the fork, you will find more courage points and pods with silver pennies in them in this hallway. It's worth noting that if you slide all the way down the nearby slope, you will find yourself near the area where you fought the Guardian. After you grab the collectibles back here, line yourself up with the green vine and slide off the edge. You will find yourself in a niche with 30 courage points and a chest in it. The chest contains 70 silver pennies and a health potion. Next, head back up the vines, go back the way you came, and take a right to go out of the cave and into the sunlight.
Sunlight again.
There isn't really anything to do out here except grab mushrooms and then climb up the vines and continue following the path.
Oh, drat these dark caves.
Be sure to avoid the spikes in the walls. To recap, what you need to do to avoid them is walk to the opposite side of the wall versus the side the spikes are on, and then walk around the spikes.
The key!
There are 3 more rock badgers in this room. Once you kill them, grab the 20 courage points that are over by the rock columns near the water. Once you grab the 3 blue courage points next to the water, you should have... If you stand on the edge of this platform and long jump to the platform with the green courage point, you'll make it. Then, jump to the green vine, let it lower, and slide all the way down to grab a pink courage point. Next, climb back up this green vine, head to the second green vine, jump onto it, and then let it lower and slide all the way down to grab a sack of silver pennies at the bottom of it. Next, you will need to head over to the waterfall. Long jump between these 2 platforms and otherwise follow the route I follow to get there. Don't miss the green courage point on this low platform. After you grab that, jump to the next vine and then jump behind the waterfall. Inside this cave, you will find a brown giant spider. This particular type of spider is easy enough to kill, just strike it a few times. However, be aware that it will cause 1.5 units of health damage if it strikes you. In this room, there are courage points, both small and large, and there's also a pod containing 10 silver pennies, and then there's a chest containing 75 silver pennies and a training scroll. Next, go back out of the cave and head across the pool. Be sure to grab the chest here, which contains 25 silver pennies. At this point, you should have... Next, head up the slope and grab the Witch King crystal. Don't miss the chest, which contains 40 silver pennies. Before the next area starts, I want to note one quick thing about rock badgers. Sometimes they will curl up to block your attacks. There are 3 more rock badgers here. It's worth noting that regular rock badgers such as these have more health than the rock badgers that are the Guardian's minions. It's also worth noting that regular rock badgers don't seem to take any damage if you strike them while they are in a curled up state. Now you need to jump up the rocks to head up this slippery green hill. If you touch the green slime, you will slide down it, so be careful not to touch the green slime if you're not directly above a rock. And here we have a new type of enemy, the frog people. The frog people deal less than half a unit of health damage per hit on average. They will die to a single strike from the walking stick. In this area, there are 3 green courage points and a chest containing 25 silver pennies. Don't miss them. Once you grab the 3 blue courage points, you should have... After you've put the Witch King crystal into the pedestal, you'll need to head out across the platforms. The first one is easy enough to jump to. For the second platform, wait until it comes close enough so that you can drop down onto it without jumping. Once you're on the second platform, line yourself up with the vine and then jump to it once the platform's movement slows down a lot. Grab the silver penny and 100 courage points up here, and then you will need to go back around to the second moving platform. You can drop from the second platform to the third platform once they are close enough together, and then you can long jump between the final 3 platforms once they are close enough together.
A key!
Don't forget to grab these courage points after you grab the troll key. You will need to use the green vine to access the upper portion of the tunnel. Just jump to the vine from the final moving platform when the 2 of them line up together. Remember to walk around the spikes here the same way I did previously. Also, don't forget to grab the chest containing 50 silver pennies before you jump across the gap. Then, long jump across the gap here, climb up into the final area of the chapter, and kill the 2 wolves. If you've been following this guide from the beginning, then, once you grab the first white courage point, you should have enough courage points to get a health upgrade. The chest here contains 65 silver pennies. Finally, put the troll key into the padlock to complete the chapter.
What a beautiful blade! With elvish runes. Barely a pocket knife for a troll, but perfect for a hobbit. But you'll need a name. I know! I will give you a name, and I shall call you Sting!
At the vendor, go ahead and buy the rock bag upgrade.
Soon the company reached Rivendell, home of the elves. Elrond told them of a secret entrance to the dragon's lair, a door revealed only by the knocking of a bird called a thrush. After resting in Rivendell, they set out to cross the Misty Mountains. Evil things and dreadful dangers awaited them, like stone giants, and worse.